Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Welsh Republic Podcast, episode 138 today. And I am here with my guest. This is the third time she's been on my show, Laurie Spencer. How are you doing today, Laurie?
I'm doing great. It's nice to be back with you, Welsh. How you doing?
I'm okay, Laurie. I just had a good, trip in Hong Kong. Went over there, for family stuff. It was very nice, very lovely to get away, from all of the drama that's happening around the world. Needed 10 days rest. How about you? What have you been up to in the last time we talked?
Oh, that sounds lovely. I love Hong Kong. We just enjoyed a nice long weekend for the Thanksgiving holiday. Got to spend some family time and get some sleep. Since this war started 7 weeks ago, it's just been 24/7 news around the clock. I'm so sleep deprived, so tired, emotionally tired. And it gets to you when you work in the news business. You do this day in, day out, around the clock. It gets too much after a while. It's just too much destruction and death and gore.
It really does get to you. I'll tell you, Laurie, I eventually need some times by myself where I just feel like, it's just too much because I suffer from, agoraphobia and horrible anxiety. And it can get very overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes you just need to take a break. I'll just focus on sports or something. It's good to have a getaway topic. What do you, Laurie, when you want to get away from politics, what do you like to watch instead of politics when you have a rest?
I'm such a political junkie and a history junkie that even when I take time away from work, I'm usually reading a book about history or politics or watching a documentary about something. Historical subjects are what interest me most. I'm a historian, history buff. So usually that's what I do with my downtime. Right now I'm reading a wonderful book about President Kennedy, written by Monica Wiesack. It's a great book. It's called America's Last President. Just came out last year. And since the Israel-Palestine topic is so hot right now, people might be interested in it because not too many books about Kennedy's presidency really talk about how he dealt with Israel and the Israel-Palestine conflict. And it's fascinating stuff. I would recommend this book because she really does go there. She goes deeper into that topic than probably any other author I can think of who's ever written about President Kennedy's administration. Really good read. And it also gets into all of his foreign policy everywhere in the world. But you just don't see too much focus on that. So I also posted a Twitter thread today, actually, about JFK's visits. He visited Palestine before there was an Israel. He went there for the first time in 1939.
When he went there, because a lot of people say he went in 1939, when he went to Palestine, a lot of people will say, like pro-Palestinian people will say that Palestine, was a place, which I'll disagree with you on this. I do believe Palestine was a peaceful place before the rise of Israel, but like I was saying, what was his opinion towards the people who said that Palestine, was a place where Christians, Muslims, and Jews lived together peaceful? And what was his opinion on it socially? And what did he think about how it was economically that country was? And what was really happening during that time of 1939?
It's a really interesting letter. He wrote this letter to his father, Joseph P. Kennedy, who was then the United States ambassador to the court of St. James in England. And it's like a 4-page letter. I mean, it's single-spaced. He's really got a lot of thoughts on it. And it's astonishing to realize that John F. Kennedy was only 22 years old when he wrote this amazing letter to his father about the Israel-Palestine situation. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I said Israel. At that time, of course, Israel did not yet exist as a nation state, so it was all just British Palestine under the Mandate. But I encourage people, you can go to my Twitter. It's Real Laurie Spencer on Twitter. And this thread is pinned now to the top of my page. And I encourage you to read this letter. It is astonishing, his very accurate take on the whole situation with, love for both sides, with great love for humanity. But I think he summed it up really well right here. I'm going to read you a quote. He says, "I have never seen two groups more unwilling to try and work out a solution that has some hope of success than these two groups. And of course, he's talking about the Jewish settlers and the Arabs that are native to the land. So I think that sums it up perfectly well today in 2023, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They don't, these two sides, see, that's the tragedy of this whole thing. There doesn't seem to be a diplomatic path forward. Neither side is willing to talk to the other side. Both sides are hell-bent on war, on bloodshed. You know, the Israelis, they want payback for what happened on October 7th. And Hamas, they're not laying down their guns. In fact, they just, within the past hour, just breaking news, they just violated the ceasefire. We've had a ceasefire, you know, a humanitarian pause for the past 8 days while prisoners and hostages were being switched and traded out, the human bargaining chips. And so Hamas apparently just violated the ceasefire. There are rockets coming into southern Israel again as we speak.